already. But yes, the for VAD and EVAD, let me take it away. We just did some renewals.
Yeah, so we only have one new application from Kenneth and Linda Reed, and they're on our list as well. Reading list. But other than that, we have 5 renewal applications. I think that we mentioned last month that we sent out a couple of renewal letters for applicants that were nearing their VAD term. So we've gotten some replies, and some of these are multiple parcels under the same landowner. So Gillespie has like, I think 6 parcels. Steve has about 4. And so, yeah, our VAD totals stayed about the same because there's just renewals. Yeah, so 5 renewals and 1 new applicant.
All right. Any questions for Albany? All right, seeing none, do I have a motion to approve the applications for VAD and EVAD? So moved. Is there a second? Second. Been moved and seconded to approve the applications for VAD and EVAD. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Ayes have it, applications are approved. Next on the agenda, we have the farmland preservation report with Eric.
All right, so we have a few dates for your calendar, if you haven't already. We have the Friends of Ag breakfast scheduled for April 18th. This will be at 8:30 at the Weaverville Community Center. We have the speaker organized now, and it's going to be Jill Carter, who is our new open space bond manager. And so the hope is that at the Ag breakfast, you know, it'll be a similar idea. We'll all sit down and eat, and then Jill will, or I think Terry Wells is going to do kind of a bit of an overview on the process of the bond, and then Jill is going to talk about how those 3 different categories of the open space bond will be, you know, evaluated and managed, and then I'll do a little spiel on how the open space bond can benefit our ag community. So please mark your calendars if you haven't already. It is, we will have the Ag Advisory Board meeting right after the breakfast, like we used to do this. After the breakfast and the talk is over, we'll just plan to have our Ag Advisory Board meeting there. So that'll mean it's not going to be at 11 here. So just make sure you mark that. And it's free. So okay, so then we also have the Conservation Family Dinner. I think I emailed out making sure folks were okay with dates for May 11th at the Elida Home Event Center, which is just down the road from here. So we are working with some of the folks on LCAB that have done these dinners in the past. This will be, I believe, the 10th annual. Well, it's not the annual because we've had a few years of a gap with COVID, but anyways, we're doing the 10th one this year. So we're getting all of our invite lists and partner lists up to date, as well as tallying all the easements that have closed since 2017, which we have in Bucking County, I believe, at least 36 easements since 2017. So we have a lot of folks to honor at this dinner, as well as in the past, they have awarded like a legacy award and a conservationist of the year award. So it'll be like a barbecue dinner. All board members are invited. I'll be sending an official invite, you know, in a little bit. But yeah, anywho, it's a fun dinner where we get to be in a room with all the folks that have donated these easements and get to thank them for their dedication to conservation.
What's the time on that?
It'll be at 6 p.m. It's like 6 to 8. That's kind of the time. So Elvie and I have been working on collecting some a plan for the projects that we will apply for grant funds for this fall, as well as once the bond process has been approved, the projects we hope to put forward for bond funds. So we're contacting landowners, determining interest amongst folks, And yeah, going about that kind of thing. We started the Larson and Wesley easement survey. And we just got an update on the Garrett Cove easement survey that probably won't start till the summer. Because Southern App wants to delay that a little bit, due to their own process approvals. We are in the process of having the state grant review the Sluter and Ramsey, as well as the Jasper Wood easement surveys. So we're making good progress there. And then we're in the final stages of deed work for Clark and Burner. Those deeds are actually finished now, finished baselines, and just waiting on the appraisals, which we should have Monday. And then we're able to schedule closings. We already have the Burner closing scheduled for the end of March. The Teague property easement, which is that community farm easement out in Alexander, is still postponed due to the boundary dispute. I just heard from Southern App this morning that they're still dealing with we're still dealing with a landowner, the neighbor landowner of this property is still disputing that survey line. So that's still going on. Doesn't really seem to have any legal grounds. So I don't think it will last very long, but at this stage, that's in the hands of Southern App as the landowner and their own legal representation. So we're.
Is that a significant difference? I'm just curious.
No, it's not.
Fine, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's I think it's, like where a fence has been for many,
Yeah,
many
no, that's
years.
the message.
Yeah, and so it's when Southern App bought this property, they got an updated survey. And so our surveyors used all of the most recent updated, information from that survey. And the original surveyor did a lot of research to find, the real lines. So all the surveying due diligence has backing. So there's really not anything that could happen other than this eventually just being resolved. But yeah, we just hope that landowner doesn't want to keep pushing it to. But we're really tied. We can't really do anything until they make an agreement, landowner to landowner, and it's on Southern App's radar. They are working on figuring that out. So we're getting very close to closing with the Splendor Valley easement out in Sandy Mush. Appraisal has now been approved. We have the final deed approved as well. We're just waiting on the final appraisal so that we can get their subordination agreement signed. So we will be probably closing in the next couple months. We kind of got the green flag from the state and the feds recently, and so that's good news. When you're on their list to move things forward, that's when it actually happens. So we have finished the story map, and there is a new link that we'll send out for you guys to look at. Nothing has changed if you looked at the last link. It's just now the official link that's on the county website. We were on the news on Friday. There was a WLOS segment on the conservation story map, so that's exciting. We've gotten some articles, some good press on it. So basically, we're hoping it creates transparency of the Ag Advisory and LCAB conservation easement process.
Actually, what is this gonna show, this map?
So it, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Basically, it's a website
Okay.
with I think there's 4 maps on there, right? 4 maps, and 3 of them are interactive, so you can zoom in and out. It's basically gonna show these priority regions that we've worked on. Do you remember the last, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, we brought a map that Avni had done a lot of research to create, showing the priority regions for conservation. So it's gonna show Ag Advisory's priority regions, it's gonna show LCAP's priority regions, and then those 2 maps combined will show the county-wide priority regions for conservation easements.
Will that include all the lands that's conserved
Yes.
for other activities?
Yes, so that the 4th map that you see at the very beginning is
Everything,
the
Okay.
currently protected lands.
okay.
So I could actually pull it up if you want me to show it on the
No, I
screen.
just,
But yeah, and so it shows that currently protected lands, ag advisory regions, LCAP regions, and then the county-wide regions.
And it's just kind of, it has some information about why conservation is important, the things we look at when we're thinking about agricultural lands or LCAP's priorities, and gives a little bit more information about conservation.
Yeah, and the criteria that we use to evaluate projects.
Thank you.
So, yeah, and it also at the bottom says, hey, are you interested in conservation? Contact us or contact our local land trust. So, yeah, it's just a plug out there.
and that's gonna be available where?
It is currently available. It's linked multiple places on the county website. And
Okay.
I'll send you guys the link. There you're welcome to share.
So if somebody says they are interested in putting their land in conservation, that's where I should send them?
You don't even have to send them there, you can send them to us or the handful of land trusts, but all the info is on that site.
If you want to learn more about the process, you can send them to that link.
Yeah. But yeah, anybody that's interested, you can send them our way, and we can. And usually when we meet initial meetings with landowners, if they seem they're unsure if we're the right fit, we say, hey, you should reach out to a local land trust and see, meet with them, meet with us, and see what's the best fit. We don't see it as competition. And then, like I mentioned, we do now have an open space bond manager. She started a couple weeks ago. Her name is Jill Carter. And so she is helping direct this path of recreation lands process. So over the last couple of months, we've been working a lot with Parks and Rec Department to start this process. And basically the idea is that there's the open space bond is divided into 3 categories: land conservation, which is our category, passive recreation lands, which is a category that didn't really exist in the past, and then greenways. So because passive recreation lands didn't have criteria and didn't really have a board associated with it, we've been helping create that criteria.
What is it?
What is the criteria?
What is?
So basically, it's land that either the county or a nonprofit would own. It would be open to the public in some capacity, have some type of passive recreation. So it's not like a park that you think of with, playground and, large infrastructure. It could just be a park with a parking lot, bathroom, and trails. So that's the idea. And the commissioner's goals seem to point this in a direction where we want to make sure that these open space or these passive recreation lands are in areas that don't have that available right now. So we wouldn't necessarily want to fund a project right beside the new Kiskadoo State Park, because that is gonna already create, that opportunity for that community. We would want it to be in a region that was maybe underserved with recreation. So yeah, that's kind of a glimpse at that. So over the next few months, we'll be working with Jill and the Recreation Board to help, the Recreation Department to help really solidify that process. And then commissioners will, we'll follow the steps to get them to approve it. So that's exciting. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all we have right now. You guys have any questions? Oh, no, we don't. I have one more thing. So I did email you guys about farm visits. So our hope is that for the March meeting, we will bring those 2 projects, there'll be donation projects, to the board, and we'll have that site visit done. I think it's scheduled before the board meeting.
Does the new,
Yeah.
does the new open space bond manager have a vote in where is this person going to reside in the criteria of us making a recommendation and voting and saying yes
No.
in county commissioners? Where does this person exist?
So she doesn't have a vote. She is going to oversee the process and make sure that all the the money is organized and our request for, like, say if we have a project that we're putting forward. We go through our board process here, we take it to the commissioners and the commissioners approve it for bond funds. She would be really overseeing, I think.
She doesn't take it to the commissioners.
No, I think,
We
well,
do.
we still take it to the commissioners. Our process really isn't gonna
I
change.
just want to find out where this new bureaucrat lives, that's all.
Where she posted, she is directly under the assistant county manager
Okay,
at College Street, the admin building downtown.
thank you.
Yeah, but in the initial stages, she's gonna be helping us with the criteria and the process, and then I think once that's set, she'll be doing just kind of project oversight and,
But she doesn't,
figure out,
she doesn't have a yay and nay.
no, she has no vote in it. And that's the same for all three sections of the open space bond.
I think it's just like managing the funding with the time.
Yeah.
And making sure that the money is being allocated in the way it's supposed to in the course of the next.
Does she have a written mandate from the commissioners? She's been hired by somebody,
She's been hired by the county,
so there is a job description for her.
yes, yeah. Yeah, they went through the standard process of advertising the job, interviewing and hiring and all of that. Yeah, I think it opened in December.
Yeah, both bonds do the housing, affordable housing one and the open space.
Yeah, I think these are the only two positions that are being paid from bond funds. But. So, but yeah, we will still follow our process, our same process, that won't really change. The only thing that will change is when we take it to the commissioners, we'll specify, hey, this project will come from, the general fund budget that the commissioners give us, and this project will be funded from the open space bond. So that's our assumption at this stage, is that the commissioners in this budget cycle will still fund us at $750,000 a year for easement on top of the bond.
So there's not gonna be any priority listing of projects 1 through 10, if she could say, decide.
No, it's all based on our board criteria.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
Two donations.
I'm suspicious.
Oh, yeah.
Another bureaucrat.
Yes, so in March, we'll bring the 2 donation easements. We'll do the site visit, we'll do a presentation at the board meeting, and the landowners will join us at the March meeting. So, cool, yeah, that's all I have.
Thank you, Ariel. So we're down to the announcements and discussion. Any items the board would like to put forth for further discussion or analysis? All right, seeing none, we have completed the agenda. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
The people didn't come that were gonna talk to us about PUD.
It was sorry, it was our mistake, we meant to put it on the March meeting, our March agenda, so it'll be at the March.
Okay.
So moved.
All in favor? Meeting's adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
You made that during.